A four-time All-Star just got traded to the worst team in the NBA. A former #1 overall pick has played barely half his team's games for 6 straight seasons. And a center making $36 million a year just scored 0 points in a playoff elimination game. The hype machine is lying to you. Reputations, accolades, and highlight reels can hide a lot. But the box score and the standings don't. And once you actually look, some of these so-called stars start to crumble. We're not talking about bad players here. We're talking about good players the world insists on treating as great. So today, we're calling it out, no matter who it upsets. These are the 5 most overrated players in the NBA right now. Number 5, LaMelo Ball. On paper, LaMelo looks like a budding superstar, a little over 20 points and 7 assists a game, and he finished second in the entire league in three-pointers made. The handles are filthy, the highlights go viral, and the hype hasn't stopped since his Rookie of the Year season. But look closer, because the efficiency is genuinely ugly. He shot just 40% from the field this year, with a true shooting percentage well below the league average. That's a mountain of empty, low-percentage volume dressed up as stardom. And it never translates to anything. In 6 NBA seasons, LaMelo has never once led the Hornets to the playoffs, not a single trip. This year they crawled into the play-in and got blown out by 31. And it's not like he's had no help. Charlotte has spent years drafting talent around him, and it still hasn't produced one winning season. Yet he's talked about like a franchise cornerstone, collecting all NBA votes, in line for another massive payday. Big numbers, bad shooting, 0 winning. That's the definition of overrated. Number 4, Donovan Mitchell. Let me be fair up front. Mitchell is a phenomenal regular season scorer. A 6-time All-Star, just under 28 points a game this year, the kind of guy who fills it up on any given night. But that's exactly the trap. His entire reputation is built on numbers he piles up from October to April, and then his teams disappear when the lights get brightest. This year was the perfect case study. His Cavaliers won 52 games and reached the conference finals, where they ran into the Knicks and got swept. 4 straight losses, down 0-3 before the lights went out. Mitchell couldn't steal a single game. And this isn't new. Going back to his Utah days, his teams have a long history of blowing big leads and bowing out early. In 9 NBA seasons, Donovan Mitchell has never once reached the finals. For a supposed contender, getting swept in the conference finals isn't a step forward. It's the same ceiling he keeps slamming into. The scoring screams superstar. The moment it counts, the results say something far more ordinary. If you're enjoying the list so far, take a second to tap that like button. It genuinely helps the channel grow. Number 3, Zion Williamson. Almost no one in modern history has been hyped like Zion. The #1 overall pick, the can't-miss phenom, the future face of the entire league. And to be clear, when he's actually on the floor, he's terrific. 21 points a game on a ridiculous 60% shooting this season. But that phrase, when he's on the floor, is the entire problem. In 6 NBA seasons, Zion has appeared in just 276 games. That's an average of 46 a year, barely more than half the schedule. You simply cannot build a winner around a superstar you can't trust to be in uniform on any given night. And the standings prove it. The Pelicans finished 26-56 this year, one of the very worst records in the Western Conference. He's now 25. The availability problems that have shadowed his whole career show no signs of going away, and he's still earning nearly $37 million a season to anchor a team going absolutely nowhere. The talent has never been the question, but a player this unavailable, on a team this bad, treated like a top-tier star? The myth has completely outrun the reality. Quick one before the top 2. Who's the most overrated player I haven't named yet? Drop your guess in the comments before I reveal them. Number 2, Trae Young. For years, Trae Young has been sold to us as a franchise centerpiece, a 4-time All-Star who led the entire NBA in assists just last season. The deep threes, the no-look dimes, the big scoring nights. But peel back the gaudy assist totals and the picture gets a lot less flattering. His defense is a genuine, glaring liability. Opponents hunt him on nearly every possession because they know they can score on him whenever they want, and it has sabotaged his teams in the playoffs over and over. Outside of one Cinderella run to the conference finals back in 2021, his postseason career has been a string of early exits. In 8 seasons, he's been past the second round exactly once. Then came the ultimate verdict. This January, the Atlanta Hawks, his own team, the franchise he carried for years, gave up and traded him to the Washington Wizards, a team that went on to finish a league-worst 17-65. Think about that. When a franchise ships its 4-time All-Star to the bottom of the standings and decides to move on without him, that's not a knock from the critics. That's the league itself telling you he's overrated. And number 1, the most overrated player in the NBA, Rudy Gobert. Now, Gobert's defenders go straight to the trophy case, and it's a loaded one. 4 Defensive Player of the Year awards, multiple All-NBA selections, one of the most decorated defensive resumes the league has ever seen, and he's paid like a superstar, set to make north of $36 million next season. But here's what those trophies conveniently leave out. On offense, he's almost a non-factor. Just under 11 points a game, a center who can't create his own shot and gets played off the floor the second the playoffs begin. Teams attack him relentlessly, and his impact evaporates. And when it mattered most this year, he didn't just slump, he vanished. In Minnesota's season-ending playoff loss, Rudy Gobert scored 0 points. 0. One analyst summed it up perfectly afterward. "He gave me nothing." Don't forget how he got there. Minnesota sent 4 first-round picks and a haul of players to Utah for him, one of the steepest prices ever paid for a single guy. Now they're reportedly trying to trade him just to escape the contract. 4 Defensive Player of the Year trophies, $36 million a year, and a 0 in the biggest game of his season. If that isn't the textbook definition of overrated, nothing is. So there's the list. LaMelo Ball, Donovan Mitchell, Zion Williamson, Trae Young, and the most overrated player in the league, Rudy Gobert. 5 guys loaded with reputations, fat contracts, and viral highlights, and nowhere near the winning to justify the hype. Now I want to hear from you. Maybe you think I was too harsh, or maybe you've got a name that belongs here even more than these 5. Reputation is sticky in this league, and it takes a long time for the hype to catch up to the truth. Subscribe to the channel for more breakdowns like this one, and drop a comment with the one player who made your blood boil, because I guarantee I left somebody off.